You're listening to This Week in Real Estate with your host, Rob Golfi. Brought to you by the Golfi Team at RE/MAX Escarpment, featuring Conrad Zarini, broker-owner of RE/MAX Escarpment Realty Inc., and Brian Hogben, owner of Mission 35 Mortgages. Let's hear what's going on in real estate this week.
What's going on, guys? Sorry about last week. That got messed up with my schedule, so we couldn't do it last week. But otherwise, we're back on track. We're trying to find a time slot, so people are probably going, "What the heck are these guys doing for the time slot?" But I know it's crazy trying to get the time to do this, and that's why we only do it for 15 minutes because it's quick and we get some points out across and everything. Yep. Now, I know, so Brian, I hear that you put on social media that you bought something. Did I see that right? Or was I looking at a post from 2 months ago? Maybe you bought something else.
It might have been from some time ago, I think. I'm always hey, I preach what I do, right? I'm always actively investing in stuff. We've got an offer on a place right now. I don't want to say too much about it, but it's it's actually 8 units, 4 semis, downtown Hamilton, and it's it looks good. I still think this market is a great opportunity to buy in, and I'm doing it myself, and I think the fundamentals are there still.
How did you get that, Lou? That must, I don't know if that sounds pretty good downtown.
It's closer to you, Rob. It's closer to you. I think I'm within a stone's throw to you. You know what it is. You feel kind of
jealous when somebody says, "Yeah, I just bought an investment property." Damn, how come I missed that one? You know what I mean? The feeling is bad. That's why you got. You know what I mean? It's like, shit. I wish I grabbed that. It's, you know what I'm saying? Because it's something that just feels like you should have done and you didn't do and all that kind of stuff. Even if it's not the same property, something different. But there is a sense of I'm missing out. You know,
the FOMO, fear of missing out.
The FOMO, absolutely.
Oh, good. I thought you were gonna say because I didn't use you on the transaction, and I was just gonna say because
your wife is a realtor. Your wife's a realtor. Why not?
I need to keep my marriage going, right? So
I gotta talk to Wendy and see if she wants to join the Golfi team with RE/MAX Escarpment there.
Well,
that's
awesome.
I don't know.
Hey, babe, if you're watching, it's
but anyway,
I feel like I'm her agent now.
Yeah, exactly. Good. I hope it works out. Everything works out on that deal. That I know you're still working, putting it together and stuff like that.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully,
So a couple of points, Conrad. We missed out doing some of the stat. We were going to talk about stats last week. Was October insane, or is it just me? Was it the numbers grew 3-4% depending on where. From September to October. It's just what the hell's going on?
Well, that's we're in the shortage economy, right? So that scarcity of supply and the demand is so high so we had that little lull in August, and then September came on with a vengeance. Actually, our showings, because we really look at our showings are up 27% over last year's ending. We already hit 200,000 showings this year, so that's a lot. We're up significantly.
I know, and I watch that because you send that out every week to everybody, and I read that. I look at that, and that is so valuable information. And I don't think anybody else does that what you do there with the showing appointments. I don't know if they do or not, but
because we got to concentrate. Yeah,
we're concentrated, and that information is so. Oh, exactly, and that information is so valuable that it kind of dictates what's going to happen in the next probably week to 2 weeks.
You're right.
It's kind of it's like a crystal ball almost, saying, hey, we're gonna have a busy weekend, or this is what's gonna happen. Showings are up, showings are down. But it's pretty amazing. Mm-hmm. So the one thing I want to talk about is we're heading into the most challenging period to own a home since the interest rate surge of the early 1980s. That was an article in the paper. Brian, what is that? What are they saying?
Yeah, I think it raises some good points, because basically what they're saying is, people are getting used to lower mortgage payments, right? You may have been stress tested at a higher rate, so we know affordability is good, but people are people, right? My dad used to say, like, if you're broke making 30 grand a year, you're broke making 300 grand a year. And people don't have that money management skill, right? A lot of people. So if your mortgage payment, even though you qualified for that payment, people are going to spend more money. They're going to spend on vacations. They may have bought a nicer car. And then and the article is saying, as rates go up, people don't account for that mortgage increase, right? So I see that affecting a small portion of the market. Because when I was looking at some numbers on that, and like a quarter point increase is going to equate to about a $12 to $13 increase in monthly payment, right? So that's per 100,000. So if you got a $700,000 mortgage, you're up about $90 a month on a quarter point increase, right? So I think it's manageable, right? And I think too, what that article didn't say is I think there will be a portion of the population that's going to be affected, but I also think we can kick that can down the road a while, only because like we're already seeing people that bought a house 12 months ago that are able to refinance and take equity out because the rates have been so low. You've paid off a ton of principal and it's gone up. So it's kind of like, going back, people using their houses as an ATM. It's not great financially to do that. But we're going to be in a market where if people get in trouble, they will have that opportunity to bail themselves out in the next 12, 18, 24 months, because I don't see the property values tanking. So if they took out too much debt, they'll refinance, take it out, and reset themselves.
Do you find that, like, our parents' generation, the first thing they wanted to do is pay off their house, get it paid, done. I think our generation and even younger, they're going to have mortgages in their senior years. Is that what's coming down the pipe? Like millennials?
I think the mindset of people, like our parents' they was like, yeah, pay off the mortgage. The mindset now is, I'm just happy to get a mortgage. They're on the never plan. Like they're not even thinking about paying it off. And it's not a great mindset right now. But the reality is they're just thinking, hallelujah, I got a house, I got my savings plan. I'm not going to pay this off ever. I'm not going to pay that off for 20, 30 years. It's just a forced savings bank account that they're going to have forever is kind of the mindset. So
no kidding, eh? It's just, I was raised with immigrant parents, your parents, Conrad.
Yep.
I think they actually took on the Canadian way. So it's like, pay off your house and stuff. And I kind of got into that group too, to pay off as much as you can and stuff like that. But I see you're right, a lot of people are refinancing, and I'm like, these guys are never going to pay their mortgage off.
No.
But it doesn't bother them. Like it really doesn't bother them. It would, like, I'd be like stressed on that, and it's just the way we were brought up, I guess. And you know what? And it's just our way of upbringing. So now everything is totally different. Generation now. Which generation X? Which generation is it? What's the next generation? The 25, the 9-year-olds to the 25-year-olds. That after the millennials. What are they? Y or X or
Z?
The new
Z.
I think Z.
World War Z. That's where it came from. It's World War Z.
That's right. Yeah. That's it. Those guys. I don't know what.
I think to that point,
they're more savers. I think.
Yeah.
Well, and I think you'll see a lot. The ones who will pay off the mortgage, I think they're not going to do it the way that our parents' generation did by like saving. They're going to do it by investing in real estate. Yeah. That's like how I paid off my mortgage. I was only to pay it off because I bought an investment property and then I sold it to pay off my mortgage. Right. So I think the savvier Gen Zs or X, Y, double Ds, whatever it is, right, they're going to end up, if they buy an investment property and use that as another forced savings tool. I think those are and like we talked about a couple of weeks ago, 1 in 4 buyers right now is an investor.
That's right.
So I think those are the ones that'll actually come out ahead, because it's like, it's hard to pay off a big mortgage like that with just your income. You need something else working alongside, I think.
Mm-hmm. No kidding. So along saying that, now they're coming out with, it says apartments at malls are the next big thing in Toronto real estate. Now, I believe that is happening because, I mean, in the last 75, 80 years, I mean, we had the downtowns were very popular. Everybody shopped downtown. Everybody went downtown. That's where everything was. Then the shopping malls came in, and the shopping malls kind of destroyed the downtowns in a lot of different cities and towns. And then after that, after the shopping malls came in the what do you call it? The discount centers, the
big box stores.
The big box stores. They came in and they killed they were the beginning of killing the shopping malls. Now this pandemic destroyed the shopping malls. Just destroyed them. They think about this. I didn't order as much online in the past 18 months. Like I never ordered hardly anything. I would have, I'd say, hey, can you order that to me? But I always like to touch and feel everything I bought. Now I needed gel for my hair. I went online, bang, I got it. And I got it within 2 days. You know what I mean? So I can see these shopping malls now are saying, listen, we're not going to survive. These shopping malls are going to die, I'd say in the next 5 to 10 years, and they're going to have to downscale it. And people aren't going in there as much. Like, have you guys gone into a shopping mall? How many times? Here's a good question. Since we opened up more openly, how many times have you been in a shopping mall in the last 90 days?
Zero.
I've been
Zero.
Once.
Zero.
Yeah,
I've been once.
Yeah.
The only time I went was to get I went to get Wendy a purse, and I went to the Yorkdale, and I was like, I need a fancy purse. You know what I mean? Because I can't order that online. I don't know what I'm doing, right? But that was that was like 6 or 9 months ago, and that was the only time I went.
Yeah,
well,
I've only been once, and I went with my wife just because she wanted me to go with her, and I walked through, and I'm kind of hanging out in the hallway, and I had my mask on, and I had it under my nose, and this young security guy goes, "Hey, put your mask over your nose." I'm like, "What? Nobody's around me. Just leave me alone." Like, come on. Like, I'm by myself looking at the phone. There's not anybody. Like, there's like 50 feet before the next person. And I'm like, okay, and I just put it up. And then he's turning around, looking at me to see if I'm doing it. And I'm like, come on, give me a break. I don't know. Maybe I'm being too light about it. But anyway, it's just,
I think the shopping mall will be a place for people to meet again, right? Like, if they have better food courts and things like that, and if people are living there, you might get that and like specialty items, I think. But the general stuff, you're right. It's like I can order something on Amazon today, and it's sometimes there at night. Like it's ridiculous.
Well, what's interesting is RioCan. They sold a bunch of their RioCan's a major REIT, commercial REIT that owns a lot of box store developments. They sold anything that didn't have surplus land, and so it's going to what you're saying, that they're going to build more around. This has been a phenomenon in the U.S. for a long time, probably 20 years. The problem is the label. They call them lifestyle centers, and in Canada, a lifestyle center usually means like a retirement home. Where in Canada, that term, but in the U.S., lifestyle centers, they got theaters, restaurants, shopping, housing, all there. And like you said, Rob, they recreated the downtown in suburbia. So they've already been ahead of us on that. That is just a phenomenon now coming to Canada. So you'll see a lot more.
I love this idea, because you know what? I would think parking would be easier. People would visit people more. Like, think about it. Hey, let's go see David at Lime Ridge Mall or whatever. They drive there, go shopping a bit, and go take the elevator up to the condo, and they're there. And then I kind of like it. I like this better than the condos that they're building downtown. And these are urban areas. These are freaking prime locations. These malls, like they're like I'm telling you, I think these would be more valuable than the ones that they're doing downtown. I love the idea.
And they're walkable, and you can like older people can age in community. They can downsize and still be around their family, and like you said, visiting. The question is, what is it going to do to the downtowns? How is that going to impact downtown as we know it, right? Especially with people, maybe they're working 2 days a week, 3 at their house, only going downtown twice. So, what's retail going to look like? What's restaurants and all that kind of stuff? And are we going to have fun in the suburbs rather than having fun in the downtown? So,
thanks, Conrad. Exactly. I'm not going to firm up on that deal now.
Don't. I wouldn't be firming up on that downtown.
Conrad, let's go take a look and see if we can see where this property that is. that he's looking at. But you know what? I'll tell you, you're right. It seems like every 20, 25 years, there's a change in where people go and shop. So it started off in the downtown, shopping malls, now the big box stores, now Amazon. Like, it's just, where's it going to go after that? It's like, I mean, like, there's not going to be, I don't know.
Well,
but anyway, guys,
it's suburban urban. It's all suburban urban. You heard it here.
Suburban. I like that.
I would be in line to buy one of those condos at a shopping mall, but I don't think anything like that's going to happen for at least 10 years here in Hamilton. But they and even in Toronto, they've got 2 or 3 that they've designated, but they say it's going to be 10 years there.
Well, so. Eastgate's already got a plan. They've got as high as 20-story there, 24-story already Eastgate. So guys, it's on a corridor because the GO station is there and the LRT. So Eastgate already has plans for all the peripheral area. They've got probably 5 or 6 high rises there. Yeah.
That's awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, listen, we're out of time, and thank you, and have a great weekend. And everybody, thank you for listening. That's listening, and we'll see you next week. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, Rob.